Bulldog Nation, you are now going to witness, watch, and listen to the best podcast in the league. Get set for a wild ride with From the Hill Podcast, featuring Wayne Cartwright, Damian Green, Tenarius Gooden, David Thomas, Jennifer Murray, and Corey Williams. Don't miss out. Subscribe now to From the Hill Podcast. It's time to turn up the excitement and make some noise.
What's up?
What's going on, family? Everybody
What's
good
up, good people?
evening?
What's going on?
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, we can hear
I
you okay.
I was having trouble with my mic again, so I didn't know if y'all could hear me or not.
Yeah, you know, we good. We good. What's up, T Gooden? You good?
That didn't sound good.
You do now.
Yeah. I hit the wrong button, and I'm working with some new equipment over here, so
I said,
forgive me.
I said, he got that T-Pain on.
He got another polo on too, I see.
Oh, I keep me a polo now. Come on, Dave. Come on, man.
Fresh and clean.
It's like
my
first day
man
of
got
school
him
every
another
Tuesday.
exclusive on. Hey, but in all realness, y'all, it's good to be back on once again, and we got a really good show again tonight. Man, it's game week, man. Can you believe that? After all this time, it's finally football game week, and we get to talk about that later on here in the show. So everybody, as you know, we want you to subscribe to this YouTube channel. We want you to follow us on all of our social media handles. And also, we got us a brand new website. Dave, tell us about our new website, my brother.
Yeah, man. So I'm no graphics expert, no website designer expert, anything like that. But we felt it was time for us to get a website. So I took the charge on that. Gene assisted me with it as well, to getting a website created for us. So you guys go out there, check it out, www.fromthehillpodcast.com. Give us your feedback on it. Give us your feedback on the show. You can listen to the audio of past shows that we've had, well, mainly season 3 shows, but there is a link that will take you to our YouTube channel if you want to see all the episodes that we've had. We're going to have a blog on there, so you guys can interact with us as we're talking about certain things around A&M, the SWAC, or just HBCUs in general, so you guys be able to interact with us. Leave us a comment. You know, you want to guest on the show, you got something you want to talk about, you can also do that there. So definitely check that out. Again, it's www.fromthehillpodcast.com.
That's right. And I've got it added on the back end of the banner at the bottom of your screen, which contains some information related to our sports that are up and underway. Our ladies soccer team that are going to be in full effect again. They've had 3 matches, or actually 5 matches. Got to stay up. 5 matches. They're actually going to have their home opener. They had an exhibition, but they're going to have the official home opener that's coming up this week. Also, we've got the Betty Austin Invitational for volleyball, which kicks off on this Friday. Idaho, Chattanooga, as well as hold on, I'm getting it together, y'all. Oral Roberts, they're all coming to the Hill. So they're going to take on Idaho Friday, Oral Roberts on Saturday, and Chattanooga at noon on Sunday. Also, the 4th team that's in the mix is Southern Illinois. So Southern Illinois will also be on campus. So, if you're in the area, make sure you go by Elmore Gymnasium and support those ladies as they get their season officially kicked off. All right. So let's get into some housekeeping. All right. First off, I want to start off with this. Shout out to Annalise, who's been on our show a couple times. Annalise Torian. She not only is representing Alabama A&M, she's also representing Team USA with the under 20 World Athletics Championship taking place in Lima, Peru. She is scheduled to run the 100-meter hurdles opening round on Friday. And if she advances out of the first round, she'll also run the semifinals on Friday. So we will definitely have some highlights and have some information because there are people who are tracking her performance. So big shout out to Annalise. If you are not following her on social media, now's a good time to do so, to make sure that you show her your love. Good luck to you, Annalise. And then also we got the Lewis Cruz Classic that's coming up. We have our season opener on the road on Saturday at Auburn, but our home opener takes place the following week on the 7th. And in conjunction with that, we got a couple of events that are going on. Of course, some of it we'll talk a little bit more in depth next week, but you have the coaches breakfast that starts things off on Friday morning, the 6th, there at the Ernest Knight Center, honoring a man that I know pretty well. Corey knows pretty well. T, you know pretty well. Bronski Towns. For a long time, he was the defensive coordinator. He also was a Bulldog football legend back in the 60s. So he gets honored, and he also will be speaking. So you can see the tickets and you can see the table. So if you want to get involved, that's what you got. And next up, they have the 10th annual Hill Project 2.0. This takes place in Elmore. Sophomores from Lee High School are going to be coming by and taking part in this monumental event. And then last but certainly not least, Friday night, Kim. A lot of y'all know Kim. He's got a lot of really hit songs out there. He's going to be performing at the event center on Friday night, September 6th. Tickets are on sale now. So if you want to be in the house to see Kim perform, go ahead and get your tickets. All right. And then also a couple of guys we want to just welcome to our baseball team. Mark Hernandez, who is the new pitching coach and recruiting coordinator, as well as Ty Hill. So welcome new Bulldog coaches to the Hill. All right, gentlemen, that's our housekeeping. Any thoughts on what we got coming up?
Yeah, I think, Wayne, we got that Betty Austin Invitational coming up too this weekend with the volleyball ladies. So for everybody that's not going to the Plains down there in Lee County for us to take on Auburn, make sure you support our new head volleyball coach, new assistant coach with the ladies in the inaugural Betty Austin Invitational. Yep.
And it is scrolling across the bottom of your screen, so we definitely want to make sure that you get in the house. So game starting up on Friday.
And Wayne, I just wanted to say too, I attended the scrimmage game with the volleyball against Lane this past Friday. Students turned out. It was a packed house, and they won 3-0. A lot of talent, a lot of new talent. So I think people go out, they'll see that, hey, like Coach said, he don't think they're going to come in fifth, and I don't think so either. So it's going to be an exciting season.
Awesome.
Hey, another thing too, Wayne, just a real quick shout out to some former Bulldog. We had him on the show. Anthony PJ Thompson. He's an assistant coach with the Hazel Green football in Hazel Green, Alabama. And our former running backs coach, Fred Ferrier, is the head coach now. They didn't win last week, but I did go to that game. It was a pretty good game. He's going to get that team together. So shout out to Coach Thompson. Shout out to Coach Ferrier.
That's right. So big things that are going on, everybody, and just be excited and make sure that you support. You do your part. All right. So first guest tonight, she is a Bulldog graduate, and she's someone that we all know very well. She is a jokester, a life of the party, and her husband is somebody that me and Corey went to school with. So, ladies and gentlemen, with me, give it up one time for SWACC Cammack. Welcome in, SWACC. How are you?
This is too much. Listen, can I have my own accolades?
Hey, do it. This is your floor. This is your floor.
Listen, let me tell you.
Tell the people who you are.
I have practiced this intro for a couple of weeks now, but you just pulled it off from me.
Gotta let her do it. She's been practicing.
Oh yeah, you got these telecommunications graduates. She's been practicing that for like 2-3 weeks. She's ready. So we're gonna give you the floor.
Go for it, Sha'Vonne.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all. I am extremely, extremely, extremely. I can't even say it enough. I'm pumped. I'm humbled to be here with y'all tonight. Like for real. I have practiced what I wanted to say, but in all fullness and in all graciousness, you all have created an avenue of communication that we never knew existed. I joined the Hill in 2002, and I knew I wanted to be in radio and all of that. So the idea of what y'all are doing now as a method to communicate change, not just about athletics or about anything, y'all have created another avenue of how to communicate what's going on at A&M in a way that we never thought that could even exist, in a way that has blown our minds. So I want to give my public flowers to the On the Hill podcast, to y'all. Corey, all of y'all are we all brothers and sisters, but Corey, we here.
We here.
Right?
We here.
So, kudos to this entire team for really creating an avenue of change, because that's what hurts for people, right? It hurts to digest change and what's different, but y'all have created an environment that lets people digest it in a way that they can understand it and comprehend it. So kudos to you. Here are your public flowers for the way that you've done it, and it's not limited to athletics. So hats off. Like this is a game changer, and I am so excited to be a part of it. So thank you.
Appreciate that. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
What are we talking about? What are we doing?
Now, first off, tell the people who Sha'Vonne is.
Oh man, I died while I was praying. You didn't say that.
You can't come on and not introduce yourself now.
Y'all, so for those of you who don't know, I do public speaking and all that all the time, right? And I don't want to limit it to what I do professionally. I'm a bulldog through and through. No matter who I work for, who signs my checks, or even if it's me as an entrepreneur, I'm a bulldog. What do the kids say? To the day that I die. I said it when I was in school, but y'all know what that chant is.
Right.
It's in my blood.
I cannot lie. I'll be a bad boy until the day I die.
To the day that I die. That part. So it doesn't matter who I work for, what I do professionally, I'm going to pour my resources, no matter what it is in relation to, into Alabama A&M University in whatever capacity. So that is a part of who I am. Very small part, right? No matter what I do, I'm always going to include it when I negotiate my salary. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. When I negotiate my salary, when I talk about my resume, when I talk about what I offer, when I talk about what I require, it is about how I am able to pour into the next generation of people who can pour into whatever industries across the industry of the world. Alabama A&M is at the forefront of it. So that's a part of my story. That's a part of what I want to dive into today, and what I do day to day, and how I got here, y'all. And it included, I'm a native of Omaha, Nebraska.
Corn husker.
Don't do
Corn
that.
Give her the Peyton Manning. Omaha.
I know I told y'all to be on your best behavior at some point.
Okay. All right.
Wayne.
All right, T.
I'm looking at you because Corey, you know better, and T, y'all know better.
We do, but sometimes we act like we don't.
Act right.
So, my question is, because of course you do things for A&M, but you also help other HBCUs. Tell the people what Sha'Vonne does for the HBCU community in entirety.
So, in a nutshell, I'll try to be as brief as I can be without being as passionate as I am. When projects come to me, they are not limited to Alabama A&M, even though that's my bias, right? So I'm looking out for the Hill unapologetically, on purpose first. there's a gap. There was a gap that we noticed, that students that were coming to us that did not have those core skills, those core competencies of problem solving, of storyboarding, of strategic planning, strategic thinking. Those were the things that they were missing. And so we noticed a trend. And so we started to put together different resources and different classes and different projects and even people in place to help these students. And we noticed over time, all of these things were geared toward HBCUs, which is okay, because people like me and like y'all were there to fill in the gaps and say, hey, I know how to do that. I can help out in that area. And so we were able to plug in that way, because students that were graduating, they got the degree. All of us we got the degree, but we were all missing those small key skills that made the major difference when you're trying to go and interview for a job in corporate America. So that's kind of where it came into play.
Sha'Vonne, you were, about a couple of years ago, you were the speaker at Founders Day. Tell us about how that became, because you are the epitome of start here, go anywhere. So tell us about that experience and what that means to you.
You know what I did? A lot of us talk about it, but a lot of us are not about it. And so I love all of the administrations for our generation and those beyond, but I called them to task. So I reached out to now it is President Williams, but back then it was Dr. Williams. You know, I'm knocking on the door. At that time, he was the provost, but I'm beating on the door like, hey, I see a problem. And he answered at the provost level, at the president's level, whomever. And he's like, hey, I can help you, or I'm going to direct you to Mr. Jamal Ali in that team, or Dr. Bryant in athletics, or Dr. Jones as the current provost, to say, hey, we can solve this problem. And so that's where it came from. And they never closed the door. They were always open to say, from industry perspective and as an alumni perspective, what do you see that we don't see? Because our vision is skewed based upon our perspective. They never closed the door. And I was just so appreciative of that. So to your point, that's what it was. I knew that there was a gap. I knocked on the door, and I was not willing to take a no for an answer. And I don't know if they got tired of me knocking on the door. because you don't know. I mean,
all until you kick it down.
Y'all came in like I did, right? There was a long, what was that? A counter in financial aid. You know, that taught us persistence. We were not giving up. We either had to get our financial aid to work and get our refund check, or we had to go home. So we kind of keep that same spirit about us, like somebody has to solve this problem or help us to solve it. And that has never left me. So the same thing, the only difference is that I'm applying it to students who are on the Hill right now.
I think that's really dope. And I want to give you your flowers as well, because a lot of times I talk with other alums, and we're always talking about giving back, right? Giving back to university. And immediately our mind always goes to giving back monetarily. But there are other ways that you can give back, and you creating these opportunities, not just for A&M students, but just for all HBCU students, is just great. So I want to give you your flowers for that. But I want to also mention that you do have, outside of your professional world, you have a lifestyle brand that you go by, that you love. So I want you to talk about that a little bit, because I read a little bit about it. There was an interview you did in 2002, I believe it was, with Shout Out Atlanta, and you just talked so much in great deal about how many challenges you went through creating this brand, and the book that you have, and how you overcame those things. And there were two things that kind of kept you rooted to get you past those challenges. I want you to talk about that a little bit.
Look at you doing your research. I love that for us.
Man, I was just about to say, David will tell you your favorite color in elementary school. That's how much research he does.
I like that. I like that about us. Start can go anywhere, but go back. See, let me just take it back a little bit. Alabama A&M University is an R2 university. That's research. A lot of people don't know that. Research university. So we're not talking research just at this level. We're talking about at a national level. We are a research 2 university. Y'all look that up.
About it.
That's tuned in. Come on now.
Talk about it.
research, not just at this level, but at every level. So I appreciate that. Thank you. So yeah, it put the battery in my back, right? You know, let's keep it a buck. All of us, we have to not only figure out ways for us individually, but as collectively to teach our students. You got to have in 2024 two streams of income.
Two of them.
Two of them, right? So whatever your hobby is, figure out how you can passively earn money for what it is that you do without even thinking about it. And that's kind of where that came from. When I was a student on the Hill, I had my daughter who is now in her, what is today? Y'all, I don't know what today is. Wednesday,
August
Thursday.
27.
Is it Wednesday, the Thursday, whatever day it is?
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Okay, cool. Thank you. It's her second day as a freshman at UAB, right? So it's her second day in college, but I had her when I was a student at A&M. Like literally, wasn't no buses, all the things that the students see right now at UAB, we've built that foundation. So what we see as passive income now, really, we were just trying to get that going when the students that are on the Hill now, that's their day-to-day. Yep. So we don't compartmentalize in that way. So to your point, what we built on back then to determine what it was as passive income now is what we were just trying to live life back then. So I was making meals and cooking, and I had the styrofoam containers back then because I didn't have a job, but I had food stamps. I couldn't get money, but I could feed you in Normal Hills.
Hey.
You know, that what they call night, we called West Campus. But that's what it was for us. So for me, passive income, that's what it meant back then. And now it's a whole nother life change for the students now. But I won't be remiss to say this. What, they kind of, the generation of right now considers as passive income as a rite of passage. And I will stand first. I'll hope y'all will stand next to me. It's not about paying dues. It's about we paved the way in a grateful spirit. We don't want y'all to have to do it. We've done it for you. You don't have to go through it. We don't want you to go through it. We don't want you to do it. We've done it for you. We've made it just that much easier so that you don't have to. So to your credit, that's what it was. That's excited as it has been, and I'm looking forward to the moving forward of it all.
Yeah, well, Sha'Vonne, I definitely know that you're a grinder, and you can tell the whole story about grinding. And definitely, I can attest to having a second stream of income because it's essential, and it definitely helps me in 2024
Man,
and beyond.
I get nervous every time you talk. I get nervous every time you say it. I get nervous.
You think Wild Wayne gonna put you on the spot? You think because I put a lot of people on the spot. I'm not gonna put you on the spot though.
I still don't believe you.
Well, one thing I am gonna do is I'm gonna give you flowers for people that you know from the audience. So I think you know Dawn Brown pretty well. Hashtag boss.
Okay.
And then Lex, she's like the governor.
No, not like me, Mom.
She said not like me, Mom.
Not like me, Mom.
Hey,
the position, not the position, not the person.
I feel you.
Running for governor of Alabama. Hey, running for governor of Alabama though. We have a
good time in a long time. Y'all seen the billboard in Birmingham? Y'all seen it?
Absolutely.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't introduce myself. What is it? Good Bulldog evening. Let's go.
Right.
Yeah, look here. It's me. Brand said three or four sources of income.
That's hard.
He said it's rough. And then, hey, shout out to you, Nick. I love you, Nick. Nick said.
And then we got that billboard right down the street from that school down the street.
Right down the street.
Hey,
nice to Nick now. Nice
I was traveling.
Nick's my boy.
Nick's cool. It's just the school he graduated from.
I almost put that billboard in the housekeeping though, But I said, you know what? I said, let me just keep it cool. Let me keep it cool. But Sha'Vonne, this has been great. And one thing that you took me back some when you talked about being in them hallways, because oh my Lord, we all know about that financial aid, boy. When you was man,
you had to plan your whole entire day around
That
sitting in that
counter,
financial aid line,
that
the
counter on
financial
the
aid
second
line, and the
floor,
registrar's line.
that second
But it builds
floor in
character.
Patton Hall will humble anybody.
Absolutely.
Right.
mm,
And
Corey,
Sha'Vonne,
Corey, let me say this,
go
y'all.
ahead.
Let me say, Corey is my real brother from Montgomery. Corey is quiet.
Go.
He's very quiet, but Corey is so calculated. He is so Corey is one of the most solid people y'all can have on y'all team. And I am just so grateful. I want to give Corey and his family all the flowers publicly that I can. I appreciate y'all. Tell Miss Lynn, that's my girl.
Miss Lynn is funny. She is funny.
If you know, you know.
My deal.
If you know, you know.
Well, Sha'Vonne, one thing I want to, what people don't know is that, one of my best friends is her husband, and he'll actually lock you up
in real life.
Yeah, he will.
But Sha'Vonne, one of the things that I wanted you to tell the people that you are in culinary as well, and
Lord.
you're a chef, and you actually had a book of Let's Eat, which is your company. Tell the people about Let's Eat. I know I know your husband loves it. But tell people the evolution of Let's Eat.
Yeah, for sure. We can talk all day about our individual business, but I'm gonna just give y'all the real. Here's the real. Let's Eat, the brand, was birthed because when I was at A&M, I used to be Miss Thomas Hall. From Thomas Hall to Normal Hills, and where I didn't have any money, but I had food stamps, right? And I had a baby. And so, I didn't have money, but I did have food stamps to feed myself and my child and all of the community around us. And I knew how to cook. And so that's kind of where it was all birthed from. That's literally where the brand was birthed from. I had my daughter in 2006, who is now a freshman at UAB. But it was all about community, intentional everything, intentional togetherness. I remember people knocking on my door at Normal Hills because they needed breakfast to go to class, right? Didn't want to walk all the way to Foster at the time, which was not co-ed. It is now, y'all. I've heard some stuff about Foster in these dorms, y'all. I was like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me the boys' end of the campus is co-ed? When that happened? But anyway, I'm aging myself, but y'all know what I mean. But that's what it was. It was the pureness of it all. It was survival. We knew nothing other than be in Huntsville, whatever Huntsville was, because what Huntsville is now is not what it was back then. Amen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Amen.
Amen.
Hey, barely recognizing that from the time we were there.
Okay.
I just want to say this. You speak on community. Your community has shown up for you, so that speaks of your character and what you give. Like, they are here for you.
Amen. Amen. Mm-hmm. And that's what it was, right? And I think that all of us probably have a very similar story for our journey on the hill. And that's where we can birth all these different things. So that's why I always start when and I'm not being full of myself. However, I work hard, right? So as I travel the world and I speak about all these things, I always cover up the different brands and all that, because I don't care who I work for, be it myself or somebody else. I'm a bulldog to the day that I die. When I negotiate my salary, it is company agnostic. That's a part of it. How can I leverage what I do day to day to give back to the community that I serve, which includes my bulldog community and where I'm from? Period, point blank. It's not negotiable. Yep. The amount is negotiable, but how we going to do it, it varies. And so I say all of that to say, when I talk about like to Corey's point, Let's Eat and the brand and what I do naturally, cooking and cooking meals and all that is out of necessity. I couldn't go to McDonald's, but I had food stamps. So I had to cook to eat, and I had to feed this kid. Plus the 10 other people who lived in the building that I lived in.
Yep.
So that's where it was kind of naturally birthed from, and it just kind of turned into a thing. So it really is a lifestyle brand that was built on necessity and wholeness and realness and transparency. And the university has gratefully so never let its hand off of me. I can contact anybody on the campus, from athletics to academics, whomever, and they're so welcoming. So I am just so very grateful for the wholeness of it all, and the podcast tonight. Y'all have been so welcoming. So I'm grateful.
Yeah, real quick, SWACC, we'll get you out of here on this one. If she would say the link for her cookbook.
I got you. Say less. Jeremiah, yes. I will make sure I will post it in this so everybody can purchase it. I have some hardbacks as well, and all the things associated with it. But furthermore, the book is what it is, right? That's this tangible stuff. I'm not that person that's not accessible to you. Just hit me up.
Well, I just want to say I want to purchase an autograph copy. I want to purchase an autograph.
Well, I have my autograph copy already.
Well, you gonna have my copy when I come down there in November, because that'll be the next time I see you at the Southern game. So, SWACC, this has been awesome. We're so thankful that you joined us. We're gonna talk again.
Let's do it. It's game, y'all. Hold on, wait a minute. The energy is real low.
Like, it's coming up next segment.
Real mid right now. It's game week. Let's go.
I mean, you came in here with your blazer on. You all professional,
Hold on, wait. Not too much on me. I came in here like this on purpose because you don't got one of these. Ooh, I saw you with your polo on. You don't got one of these.
Be quiet. You are correct. I do not.
It always smart. Put your back in the ponytail for it, right?
That's it. Well, SWACC, hey, it's been a pleasure, and we definitely gonna see you again. Physically and on this show again. All right.
Whatever y'all need, I'm supportive of it. Thank you for creating a channel of communication throughout not just athletics, but throughout the entire community. Y'all have really created something special that I hope the university wraps its hands around. And my flowers are to y'all. Like literally, I remember when y'all first started. I remember this. And y'all have grown and embraced everybody who has pushed y'all to move outside of athletics and everything else. And y'all have embraced it. So kudos to y'all. Thank you for having me. And however I can help moving forward, please let me know.
We're going to hold you to that. God bless you. All right. See you later, SWACC.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you, SWACC.
All right, sis.
All right. That's SWACC, man. And
she's amazing. She's amazing.
Yes, she is. And let's keep this thing rocking and rolling, y'all. Next gentleman we're gonna bring on. We got a game coming up on Saturday night down there on the Plains, and this gentleman, he runs a podcast called the War Rapport. And he's going to definitely get a chance to speak about it in full depth. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome for the first time here on From the Hill podcast, Ike Jones. Welcome, Ike.
What's going on, y'all? Appreciate y'all having me on.
How you doing,
man? Appreciate you being on, my brother. How's everything?
Man, taking it a day at a time, man. Just trying to be out here living this content creator life. So,
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. And, training camp is all ended, and it's time to get ready to just suit it up, man, and play some real football. And, we come down there on Saturday night down there to the Plains, and we know that you guys, after last year, Hugh Freeze in his second year, looking to definitely have a bounce back year.
Right.
The SEC was never easy before, and it's definitely gotten a little bit tougher with some new teams that have come in. So, talk a little bit though, if you could though, about War Report and how you got involved with it and all things Auburn.
Yeah. So, I went to Auburn University, and basically, the guys who are on the channel with me were all guys that I knew from school down there, and our Saturday routine, as most people who are avid followers of football, would be something like this. You call your homeboy a little bit before the game. Hey, what you think we're going to do today? We sit there and we be on the phone, talk back and forth, blah, blah. Halftime of the game, call back. Yo, man, what you thought about first half? What adjustments, what you think they're going to do, da. Post game, you get back on the phone again, either extremely upset at what just happened, or you like, yo, nah, man, we just kicked, whatever, right? So, we were having this conversation on the phone. This is like 6 years ago now, on the phone. And I ran into one of the other guys at a random situation in Birmingham. Actually, it was Magic City Classic weekend. We were all in Birmingham. We were at somebody's house and we were kind of catching up. Like, yo, you still follow the team? And he recounts to me this exact same game day routine that he has with one of our other friends from school. I was like, yo, that's crazy. Why don't we just try getting on live stream in a couple of weeks and having that same conversation, a pregame, halftime, postgame live stream conversation, and see how many other Auburn fans want to join into that conversation. And, 6 years later, here we are. We have I feel like I'm bragging when I start talking numbers, but we are the #1 independent Auburn podcast in the world. Like, there is no other non-affiliated podcast that's bigger than us that covers Auburn sports. And yeah, man, it's been a beautiful journey. Last 3 years, I've been doing it full time as a content creator, and just trying to continue to grow it.
Yeah, so first thing, sidebar, I'm like, I need you to email me the link to that microphone because that thing sounds crystal clear. I need to get that.
Okay, for sure.
I was just thinking that too.
Right. That sounds crystal clear.
When you send to him, just give it to all of us.
I was about to say, I just make sure y'all get the information on it. Yeah,
right. My second thing is how have you got? I want to talk football for a second.
Yeah.
Based on what you've seen in training camp through the summer, spring training, what is the outlook of Auburn football this year?
I think it's a cautious optimism, right? Because you've got a lot of additional weapons that have been added to the offensive side of the football. And the big thing that a lot of people knew was an issue for Auburn last season was just the inability to throw the football consistently. And there were a lot of reasons given as to why that was. And the thought process for the coaching staff was, if we give our quarterback more weapons, then the offense will be a little bit more potent. So they went out and they got them, right? They got four wide receivers that were in the top 100 in the recruiting class last season were added. They went out and got the #1 receiver from Penn State. He was the #1 receiver at Penn State last year. They went and brought him in the transfer portal. Then they went and got one of the best available wide receivers from the group of 5. It was at Georgia State last year, brought him in the transfer portal, right? So you went and got a bunch of weapons that you could put around your quarterback. You made some changes to your offensive line, and then Coach Hugh Freeze is stepping back into being more active in the play calling with the offense. So the cautious optimism is that regardless of how you feel about the starting quarterback, whether or not he is amazing because he has all these weapons or he's going to be the guy that messes it up, the thought process is you've actually given him too much to mess up, and it's going to be good. On the offensive side. Defensively, you fire your defensive coordinator last year. You bring in a new defensive coordinator who is got SEC experience. So the thought process again on that side, cautious optimism. You lose some of your best DBs and secondary players to either the draft or graduation, but you bring in some quality guys that have come in behind them in depth. So you feel like you're going to be okay on that side of the football as well. But to the point that was made initially, the SEC is tough, right? So you don't know if how much you've grown has closed the gap enough. So you got to wait until they start playing football games to determine that, because they can look good in a scrimmage, but who cares, right? You're looking good against your own team. So is our offense better? Is our defense trash, right? So you don't know the answer to that yet until you start playing somebody else.
All right. I'm going to move in a different direction. You stated that you and your friends, you would participate in Magic City Classic,
Yeah.
which is, one of our storied games.
Mhm.
I'm going to put you on spot, and I'm going to have you tell me your Mount Rushmore of HBCU football players.
Ooh, of HBCU football players. That's a really great question. Do I interject bias into this? So I'm gonna put McNair up there because he was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm a big Terrell Owens fan. I'm trying not to be biased about this, about the players that I'm selecting. I really want to just give the guys, because again, I really like, I'm a 49ers fan, and Jerry Rice is a big guy. And I feel like
you can be biased. That's fine.
Yeah,
Jerry Rice is legit. You can be biased.
But I'm saying, like you said, Mount Rushmore, and I've never thought about it through the lens of who are my favorite HBCU football players. And I'm trying not to just name the guys that I love that played at HBCUs and like pick like literally like the best ones. But I mean, Steve McNair is going to be up there just because he is he might be the best HBC quarterback I've ever seen play. I'm gonna keep those other ones on there. You said Mount Rushmore, so I need to give you a fourth one, and I'm trying to run through the Rolodex in my brain of guys. I don't know. I can't think of a fourth one that I want to put up there as the best ever. I know some other good ones, but like best ever. I don't know. I can't. I don't. You put me on the spot a little bit too much on that one.
Now I'm gonna pull off T.O. because he played at UT Chattanooga. But
he played at UT Chattanooga.
Okay.
Yeah.
My bad. Okay. All right. Let me think about that for a second, because that's really on the spot for me right there.
We'll come back to it.
Come back to it.
Okay, our A&M Bulldogs is coming to Auburn on Saturday. What are some of the things that you would think that the team, as far as preparation for our A&M Bulldogs, besides just our band at halftime?
What things is Auburn preparing for that?
Yes.
Honestly, I had a conversation, and somebody actually came to our channel and said we had the wrong person on talking about this. I'm free. I don't know how familiar y'all are with my guy Scotty over at Off Script TV, but I'm friends with him.
Yeah, we're familiar with him.
He's a lightning rod. You either love him or you hate him. And what he hit me to essentially was the fact that A&M has been good offensively for the last few years under the head coach. And so what I anticipate being a thing that Auburn is going to be focusing on is having a sound strategy about how they want to handle the offense of A&M. But this is a thing Coach Hugh Freeze said in his recent press conference. It's difficult to game plan for them because they haven't seen a lot of the guys, right? The quarterback situation, they don't know who's going to be the quarterback. So how do you game plan for it? It's like, okay, we got to prepare for like potentially 3 different guys because we don't know which one of them is going to be the one. So that's been a challenge that they've already acknowledged for offense or defensive game planning. On the offensive side, I think that they're going to want to show off some of those new toys that I talked about in terms of the playmakers that are there on offense. And what I'm hoping, though, is that they don't get so in love with let's try to throw the football around the yard that they forget, like, okay, we got to win the football game, too. Like, let's not just try to – this isn't a scrimmage. We need to win a game. So I hope they don't just get in love with let's drop back and throw the ball 60 times in this game because we want to get some work out there for those receivers. But we'll see. I really want them to just line it up and run it. Like, let's play big boy football. And if we got a chance to throw it off the play action, great. But I want to see that and let them establish themselves as a physical team this Saturday.
Okay. Yeah. I know I'm very familiar with Peyton Thorne because, I'm from Ohio and I'm up here in Columbus. And, when he was at Michigan State, we know that, he struggled when he was a quarterback there. We know that he's got a lot of tools running the ball. Also, Jarquez Hunter, your leading rusher from last year, a bowling ball. And also Keandre Lambert-Smith, the wide receiver you speak of, who transferred from Penn State. Yeah. Now, Lambert-Smith, he's got speed. He didn't quite put it together the way that everybody thought he would at Penn State in his 3 years, but he is dynamic. Right. Now, with these guys that you guys have and everything that you mentioned, you know, I know we all know the schedule that Auburn has. You guys got Oklahoma. You guys got Georgia. Mm-hmm. You know, you got Alabama. You guys got this is a really, really tough schedule. You got games like Kentucky. Mm-hmm. So this game on Saturday night, though, besides just winning the game, what do you think would spell success or get the Auburn faithful to feel more optimism about this team? What do you think that they would need to do Saturday?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. If it's not like an absolute blowout, they're not gonna be happy. Like there's no scenario that doesn't look like utter destruction that Auburn fans will be happy about in this. Like just winning the game won't be enough. Just, you know, like scoring 50 but giving up 30 ain't gonna be like it. It needs to be like A&M can't score more than 10 and Auburn needs to put up. It's gonna have to look lopsided or they're not gonna be happy. This is a fan base that sits in misery. Like your top rivals are Georgia and Alabama, and they have been sitting at the pinnacle of collegiate football for over almost 2 decades if you're going through the entirety of the Nick Saban era, right? And because of that, you have to go out and you have to look dominant in every other contest that is not Georgia and Alabama, or people are going to say, man, they're not ready. And so I'm keeping it as honest as they're not going to be happy unless it's a blowout.
Well, we hope they're not going to be happy.
Right. You know, I'm glad that you mentioned the fan base, because I was going to ask on social media today, y'all seem to have like a lot of energy. Mm-hmm. You know, that I've seen with other teams, with you guys on social media, whether it's, you know, from the school's page or just fans in general. I was going to ask, so what's so different about the game this year than any games in the past? Because, you know, the HBCU community about ready to pounce on y'all on social media because all the smoke y'all trying to get to the Bulldogs. So I'm trying to see, like, you know, but where all this rah-rah coming from?
It's not about the Bulldogs, honestly. It's just about they're just so ready. Like it could literally be anybody. Like, I'm just being honest with you. Like, it doesn't matter who. Like, they're so ready to get back to football because, again, there's this cautious optimism. People are excited about the prospects of the season, so they're just ready to see it. So it is not about A&M. It is 100% about football is back, and it could be anybody. Please line somebody up on the other side of this daggone line of scrimmage so we could play football.
And
I was there, you know, I was there when I saw all the posts and all the tweets and everything. I was like, but this seemed a little different this year. I don't know what it is. They were just
because they're excited, bro. Like, you have the excitement is palpable. Like, the amount of people who are just like they actually feel like the evil empire is gone on the other side of the state with Nick Saban getting out of there from Alabama. You've got all of these great wide receivers that you've brought in this season, and they're just like, yo, I feel like we could do something this year. And it's the small, like the modicum of hope that sits back there in the back of your brain that is starting to grow the closer we get to the season, that they can't contain anymore.
Like itching for it. Is what they're doing?
Oh man, like they real deal Pookie status right now. Like y'all got any more of them wins?
Right. Y'all got any more of them football victories?
But I will say this: I'm not on social media right now, and somebody from Alabama State, which is our rival, sent me a screenshot of something about A&M Hate Week. And I just want to tell you, and I appreciate your platform, but tell your friends now to keep it cute.
Not real. There is no A&M Hate Week. That's
what I'm trying to tell you.
Somebody had a platform, so I know is if that round up If
it's
that
hate
riled
week
up our
for any
rival-
opponent, though. It was my.
Hey,
This is my
that's
point.
that's
to you.
how it should be because I
We
hate everybody.
Everybody. Everybody
do
who's
too.
not an Auburn Tiger, I hate you. This is the energy that they are bringing this year.
But
I don't cheer for
they
any
keep it
SWAC
cute, though.
teams. I don't cheer for any. I hate everybody that could line up against Alabama
Yeah.
A&M.
I mean,
Like,
yeah,
I
what
don't
you
like
want
them.
them to do? You want them you want us to hold hands at the
Hey,
50
listen.
and see
They
who
ain't got
gonna
the whole
buy y'all?
hands, but
Here's
it's 12 of us.
Here's
It
what's
ain't
going to
just
happen.
It's 12 of us now.
Here's what's going to happen. Tailgate. Everybody's going to be real nice.
Yep.
And you know, come down, get you like for real. You can walk around the campus and you could just walk up to random people and get food. Like they're gonna be super nice to you. Welcome to Auburn, all that kind of stuff. The minute Tiger Walk starts, it is going to be hatred for everybody walking around in maroon and white up until halftime, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, this band is awesome. Look at them out here doing their thing."
Right.
And then as soon as they start the second half kickoffs, it is hatred for anybody in maroon and white. And then hopefully if they get the right outcome at the end of the game, it's thank you for coming down to Auburn. It was so great. What y'all want to do after the game?
Right.
And the right outcome is the complete blowout.
And
It's got to be a
right.
blowout.
You know, that's fine.
They'll be
But y'all
fine
win.
with you if
Keep
it
it cute.
is a win. They're gonna be mad at the team if it's not a blowout.
And my brother graduated from Auburn. Obviously, I graduated from A&M, and
My
it
sister
just
went
is-
to A&M.
it just is what it is, man. Like it's football. Like I don't keep it cute with him, and he don't keep it cute with me. It don't matter. Like we just go at it. You know, it is what it is. It's football.
Yeah. I mean, listen, like I said, I know it feels malicious, but it's literally about just it's anybody. Like anybody could get the smoke. Whoever it is, line them up. We don't like you for this week. There are certain people we don't like at all, period. Like it don't matter what the week is.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I'm saying. There's real beef out here in these streets with some other people.
Like with Bama and Georgia.
Nobody got real beef with A&M. It's just
Right.
like, man, you're this week's victim of the hate, but it ain't. I said of the hate. Slow your roll, shot. It's all good. Of the hate. Of the hates.
Any passionate fan base is going to be like,
If
we have them in the SWAC. Passionate fan bases.
Yeah.
That does the same thing. So
And that's
Um,
fine. And that's
but-
fine. And that's fine. All I'm just saying is keep it cute because you can get Jada Great or you can get Jen from the south side of Bessemer. It's your choice.
Hey, listen,
It's
I
your
feel you.
choice.
And I'm not mad at none of that. I really am not mad at that type of reciprocated energy because that's the energy being brought to your door. So you bring it back, but you know what I mean. Like it ain't personal. Is all I'm trying to say.
and I do agree as far as about everybody's excited as far as about football start.
Right.
If you notice the ratings for the SWAC MEC challenge and as well as the Florida State game, the ratings have been out the roof. So everybody's excited about football starting. So I do agree with that.
Yeah.
Just is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Yeah, man. And you get players, they tired of hitting each other. They tired of sitting in rooms talking about the game. They're ready to kick it off and play. They want to hit somebody.
Yeah, and Coach Freeze has been very reluctant to allow them to go live before this game, so that they are really gonna be they're itching to go let the pads pop Saturday, like for real. So
Hey, since you did bring up Coach Freeze, for the last 10 years, I think Auburn has had like maybe 6 coaches. How do you think, since Saban is gone, do you think people will be more tolerable to a coach that may not,
No.
So so how long do you think Hugh Freeze's leash is? Like how long do you think he had?
He bought himself to his 4th year with the recruiting class that he put together this season and the one that he has predicted or projected going into next. Right now, Auburn is projected to be a top 5 recruiting class in the nation in 2025. They currently have the number 1 recruiting class in the nation in 2026. So he's bought himself until his 4th season, at least, with the caveat, you got to win at least 7 games. It'd be better if you get to 8 this year.
Right.
If it starts looking ugly out there this year, then they gonna be like this.
Get bought out again.
This recruit is cute and everything.
Man,
now he ain't gonna get fired. He's not on the high. He's not gonna get fired. But I'm saying like it's like if you're playing a video game and you got lives, right? Like last year going 6-7 and losing to New Mexico State, he lost a life. I'm sorry, you only get 3 of them, my boy. Like
right.
So The recruiting class, he might have bought himself an extra life. It was because he
Gotcha.
year 3, the way his contract is set up, year 3 was the pivot year, right? Like they have a buyout clause, or their buyout, ends after year 3. So they could fire him without any worries after year 3. So he might have bought himself an extra year.
Let me ask you this.
He said add a season if he wins the Iron Bowl.
If he wins the Iron Bowl and it's a above 500 year,
Right.
Like, you don't there is this misperception that Auburn people only care about winning the Iron Bowl. They care about winning the Iron Bowl because it ruins Alabama, right? But it don't buy you no additional grace unless you're doing some other stuff as well. Again, like it's not a full extra life just winning that game, unless you got it's a winning season attached to it. You're not gonna just win 3 games that year and one of them's the Iron Bowl and they're like, oh, keep the coach. No, bro, you got to win.
Right.
Let me ask you this. Realistically, 12 team playoff. Realistically, what year do you expect Auburn to make an appearance?
Next year. Next year, well, again, I have to give a caveat to this. As long as they get the quarterback right. They get the quarterback right next year, Auburn can go in and be in the 12-team playoff next season because they have, I'm talking about these recruiting classes. You've got enough talent now. The big thing with Coach Freeze last year was he didn't feel like he had the talent to compete. You will have the talent to compete going into next season to be able to get to 9, 10. And I think you really only have to get to 9 wins to be in the conversation in the SEC. But if you can get to 10, they basically
you get to 10 in the SEC, you can book it.
Just go ahead and put your spot in there, right? So, but I think Auburn, from a talent perspective, again, depending on how this season goes and what happens with the quarterback, will be in the position to be a potentially 9-win team next season. Yeah.
Well, we look forward to getting together and making acquaintances down on the plains.
I will be there
Saturday night.
So if y'all
I'll be there too.
Y'all holler at your boy, man.
We'll see you Saturday.
Yeah, I'll be up in the press box for most of the game. But if y'all let me know where y'all gonna be at, then I will. Oh, so I'll see you.
I'll be up there with you.
Okay, well we'll definitely see each other then because I'll be there. So.
Well, War Rapport, Ike Jones, Auburn University. A&M is locking horns with Auburn on Saturday night down there in Jordan-Hare. Man, this was great. Enjoyed you coming on with us, man, and taking time out of your schedule. And man.
Hey, real quick, Wayne, how can we watch you? How can we let us know when you air?
Yeah. So I mean, we have content that goes live pretty much 7 days a week, but our live streams happen on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. and on Sundays at 1 p.m. So we do our big lives. We call it the midweek Rapport show, where we preview all of the SEC games coming up for that weekend on Wednesday nights, and then on Sunday we do a recap of all the games in the conference plus recap our game. But yeah, we drop content pretty much 7 days a week on the channel. I tell you, I'm not doing this full time. I'm just out here recording everything. Somebody sneezed on the team. Oh, breaking news. Such and such as a runny nose.
Now, I want to ask you one more question.
Go for it.
Since I asked you about the HBCU players, give me your number 1 Auburn player of all time.
Of all time. Oh God, that is so. So again, I have to inject bias into this, right? I know who the best Auburn player of all time in everybody's mind is, being Bo Jackson.
Yes.
Right. But
see, I always go for who I see. I didn't see Bo Jackson play, so I'm going with Cam Newton, but you didn't ask me that.
I did. Bo Jackson, boy. Woo.
My favorite, so the guy who got me watching Auburn football was Frank Sanders, wide receiver for Auburn.
Yeah, Frank Sanders. Yeah, he was dope too.
He and Damian, what made me an Auburn fan was the fact that Damian Craig was the quarterback when I was younger, right? It was just good for me to see a black quarterback at Auburn.
He was insane. I remember him. He was insane. Like his arm was ridiculous.
Yeah, and so Frank, I wanted to play wide receiver, so I was really big fan of Frank Sanders. But Damian Craig, when I saw that he was a quarterback, I was like, oh, they got a black quarterback. I can roll with these. So like that made me feel a little bit better about Auburn, and that's where my fandom started for them. So again, it's a difficult. You asked me to like, oh, who's the best? It's like I'm trying to remove my bias and just say, okay, but listen, man, those are the guys that make me Auburn fans. So, but Bo Jackson,
hey man, for me,
easily the best one.
I'll just say a few. Bo Jackson for sure. Cam Newton.
Easily. If you were making
definitely
Mount
gotta say
Rushmore,
Cam
those two
Newton.
got to be up there. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Frank Sanders was the man. Now, that was during the team that was on probation, but Frank Sanders was dope.
Yeah.
Unequivocally.
I'll probably
Jen, hold on, Jen. Let me throw
Cadillac
my last two out here.
Cadillac is definitely
Cadillac Williams
Yeah.
and Ronnie Brown.
That's two. You
So,
can't
like,
say one without the other.
I went to school with those guys, Cadillac and Ryan. I know I'm aging myself right now, but I actually was at school with both of those young men. So they're gonna be personal favorites of mine because I knew them in school. But
I was gonna age myself. I remember when I would see Cadillac on sideline on the local news here playing high school ball. So I'm really aging myself.
Yeah.
All right. Hey man, this has been great. So for those that are going down there on Saturday night that you see, I know you're gonna show the hospitality. Make sure you slide a drink their way too, man.
Listen, I won't be running any tailgates or anything like that, but I will be walking around. So if y'all see me, feel free to speak. And, hopefully I ain't make nobody too mad. Y'all didn't ask me any questions that would have made anybody mad tonight.
It's all love. It was pretty good today. Real light.
Yeah. I say there's no tension here, right? Like if this had been a podcast from another team that I've said their name enough already tonight.
We get that. We get it. We get it. We do the same thing with that other team as well.
Yeah,
we understand.
Like I said, my sister, my little sister went to A&M, so y'all have a special place in my heart. And so it's all love.
Got it.
All right. Well, Ike, man, thank you, man, and we'll definitely talk to you, my brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Have a good one.
All right. That's Ike Jones. All right.
I wanted to say that.
Right. Hey, so listen up, y'all. We got one more segment, and it is back in full effect. We haven't had this in a whole calendar year, and it is now back. We have game picks, and let's get the track fired back up. Mike Jones. All right. Here we go. Get it started with all the picks, and everybody as we do, you make your picks in the comments. All right. So we start off with a little bit of payment action. Last time, Pine Bluff went and played Arkansas. They got a nice check plus some used lockers. I don't know what's on the agenda for this time, but man, this one is going to be really, really ugly. Sam Pittman, the head coach of Arkansas, you talk about somebody that got their back to the wall in a hot seat. If Arkansas don't win this year, if they get off to a bad start, he may get fired halfway through. So we all know Arkansas going to kill this team, right? All right. Yeah, they gonna kill this team. So Arkansas, everybody. Okay.
Absolutely.
Look at this. 38-14. You sure it's gonna be that close, Nick?
Nah, it ain't gonna be that close.
He said negative 14. He's coming and said negative.
Oh, negative 14. Well, hey, Arkansas will have 38 now. All right. Next. Okay. Jen. Down in your neck of the woods, there's some Alcorn folks that think they're going to win this game. I had a couple of them on my timeline tell me, we going to surprise them. Look here, man. Trent Dilfer, he wasn't a popular hire. And they were 4-8 last year. Alcorn with the new staff coming on the road. Does anybody feel like Alcorn has a chance?
You know me, whenever you suit up, everybody got a chance, but I think UAB's gonna win. But there's a chance. There's always a chance.
Yeah, I think Alcorn is gonna I've seen Alcorn, put a pretty good effort against an FBS school. I was there when they played South Alabama a couple of seasons ago. and they actually pushed South Alabama to the wire. But this is not going to be one of those games. But you know, I am rooting for Alcorn to, you know, make a move.
And I also seen a couple years ago UAB played us, and the score wasn't really how the game went. If that makes sense, you know, Corey, you was there. We played them pretty tough. Exactly. You know, we really did. So, you know, UAB is not one of those teams that, like, you know, that I could just say. But I mean, I think they're gonna win. But you know, I won't count them out. Alcorn out, but I go with UAB for the win.
Yeah, I think UAB. I think you know, actually, I don't think it'll be a close game with a new coaching staff at Alcorn. I think they'll come out and play hard. But with UAB having Trent Dilfer being there 1 year, I think, you know, they'll be more sound as far as on offense, defense, and special teams. So I think it'll be a blowout.
They really went 4-8. They really went 4-8 last year.
They sure did, man. They were bad. And then you remember he had that eruption on the sideline, and one of his assistant coaches.
He was talking crazy to his coaches.
Mm-hmm. So I expect them to bounce back though. But UAB's gonna win this one by a good margin.
At least about 2.
Yeah.
Okay, now Grambling headed down to Lafayette to play them Raging Cajuns. Any takers? What you got, Jen?
I'm taking the team in Louisiana.
Yes. Definitely gonna be a team out the boot.
Well,
at the same time, too, don't they?
No.
I just don't know much about the Raging Cajuns to say that. What conference do they play out of?
They play in the Sun Belt.
The Sun Belt.
I'm going to go with
the Raging Cajuns. But you know, I don't know if it's gonna be one of those games where they just take over and dominate Grambling. But Grambling has a new coach too. Got a lot of new stuff going on in the SWAC. So you know, we're gonna figure out a lot this week.
Yeah, I think you know, Grambling, you know, I see they announced some more transfers. They're excited about that. But at the end of the day, I just don't see this being a close game. I expect Louisiana to Raging Cajuns to win pretty handily.
Yeah, I agree, man. Grambling, they're going to win games this year, but this ain't one of them. Okay, now.
Real quick, I just looked in the comments. Nick has this close. He has the Raging Cajuns 28, Grambling 17. That's what Nick Eden said. He has it close.
Okay. Hey, you know, you got. I'll give you the 17 part, but I think that 28 might be 45.
45-17.
Yeah. Okay, next one. All right, now I just went on She Loves Thee last Thursday, and I listened to a bunch of Jackson State followers, fans, and alums say that they're going to win this game. And the reason why they said they're going to win this game is because ULM was terrible last year. Well, we know that last year was last year. They fired their coach. Shout out to Terry Bowden. They got a new head coach. They got a whole new roster. And there's a lot of pride. And you don't want to start your tenure by losing to an FCS opponent. Jay the Great, what do you say?
I think it's going to be close in the beginning. And then I think, unfortunately, I think Louisiana Monroe is going to pull away. I am rooting for Jackson State to win this game, but I think I see Louisiana Monroe pulling away in the second half.
All right. T?
I think Jackson State is going to lose. However, they have a quarterback. A good quarterback just was announced number 1 on the depth chart. He's from Syracuse, right, Corey?
Yes.
Yeah. So they have a decent quarterback that has some experience. That I think he'll play well, but I do think University of Louisiana Monroe will win, maybe by 2 touchdowns.
Okay, Corey.
Now, UL Monroe is the BFBS. You know, they're not really that good,
right?
So Jackson State has a chance. However, with Jackson State having a new quarterback and going on the road, I just don't think that they will be able to win this game. I know a lot of Jackson State fans in general think they will, but I I think UL Monroe will win this game by, I would say, by 17 points.
Okay, Dave.
I think it'll be a Jackson State is going to play tough, for sure. So I don't think it'll be a real easy win for ULM, but they are going to get the win.
Yeah, I like what Jonathan said here. Depth will kick in. FBS has more scholarship players and walk-ons. And then Nick, 35-14, delusional. Wow. Yeah, I got the Warhawks in this one. I think it's going to be a closer game. The point spread, believe it or not, is only 7.5 in favor of ULM, man. So I think ULM will cover. I think they'll win by, I'll go with you, Corey, a couple touchdowns. ULM's bad, but they're not going to be bad enough to lose to Jackson State. Okay, another payment game. We know South Florida for the win. Big.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not just saying it because it's a bigger school, because all bigger schools aren't good. But South Florida happens to be one of those teams that actually they do produce good teams. It's not just one of those big names. They produce good athletes, and everybody knows most of the athletes at a lot of these SEC schools, they come from the state of Florida and the state of Texas. So USF tends to keep a lot of their guys. So I think this one, I think this one go. Bethune-Cookman might get a field goal, and I think South Florida is going to be 35 points, 35-3.
Yeah, I know everybody got South Florida in this one, so we keep this one pushing. Okay, the John Merritt Classic.
We're getting to the nitty gritty now.
Yep, the John Merritt Classic. Valley, shout out to Valley, coming on the road to Nashville to take on Tennessee State. Look, Tennessee State, you get an HBCU opponent. Maybe now your fans will show up, because remember they said the fans only want to see HBCU opponents. So let's see. Okay, Dave, you start here. Who you got?
I thought Tennessee State played the HBCU last year.
No, I'm just saying this is an HBCU opponent. Okay, so just bring context to it. They play in the OVC, and the teams that they play in the conference, the fans say we don't like them because they're playing a lot of PWIs. And they said that they wish that they would join an HBCU conference. So let's just bring context to that. All right, Dave, who you got?
I'm rolling with Tennessee State. Valley going to play hard. Valley always plays hard, but Valley never comes out with a win. So I'm going to go with Tennessee State.
Well, they did win against us.
All right, Corey, who you got, brother?
Hey, I think Tennessee State is going to pull it out. Valley normally gives Tennessee State a pretty good game. The last time they played, I think it was closer than what people thought. But I'm looking at Tennessee State and Eddie George to make a solid move this year. Because they've been mediocre, but I think this year they'll show more progress. So it's Tennessee State.
That's right. All right, T.
I still a tough one, man, because I still don't believe in Eddie George as a head coach at Tennessee State. He was part of that let's hire a professional celebrity coach type train. Because it worked in one place, they try to do it with the other. I'm gonna go with Mississippi Valley State on this one by a little bit.
Oh wow. All right, Jen.
I'm gonna go with Tennessee State, but I will say I can't wait to see the band clips from this game. This is gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I think Tennessee State is gonna kick they gonna beat these boys up, man. They're gonna rough them up. I think they're gonna beat them by at least 4 touchdowns. For real. I think Tennessee State has a lot to prove. This is Eddie George's big year to prove it. And Tennessee State by a lot to me. All right. Southern going down to Lake Charles to take on the McNeese Cowboys. Now, McNeese, they already played a game at Tarleton, and Tarleton State was ranked. And, they had a chance to tie the game late. They missed a field goal. So Southern, new head coach. Noah Biden is the quarterback. Corey, who you got?
All right, McNeese has been horrible in the last, 3 or 4 years. They've been horrible. And I watched the game of McNeese and Tarleton State last week, and Tarleton State quarterback actually got knocked out the game, which allowed McNeese State to be able to, because they went without their starting quarterback for a full half. So that allowed McNeese to get back in that game. However, I think that McNeese will win, talented quarterback. And I think overall, I think they'll be they'll go into Baton Rouge and beat Southern.
Go ahead, T.
I'm going to go with McNeese State on this one.
Okay, Jay.
I'm so torn because I think Southern is the better team, but I don't know what Coach Graves is going to do, so I'm going to go with McNeese.
Yeah, if this game was a little bit later in the season, I would go with Southern because McNeese has been bad, but the quarterback they had, he was a transfer from Montana that went to the national championship game. Now, they don't have a lot of pieces around them, but given that this is a home game, they already played one game, I think McNeese is going to win a close one. Oh, boy. South Carolina State going down to Bragg. Now, Florida A&M, they squeaked one out against Norfolk. Norfolk let one get away last week there in Atlanta. And they got a long winning streak down there in Tallahassee. Chennis Berry, first game as South Carolina State's head coach. Jay the Great, what you got?
This one is so hard because even though I watched the game last week, I still don't know much about FAMU. I watched the game and I just don't know. So I'm just gonna go with the home team, and that's I'm gonna go with FAMU because it's at home.
All right, T.
Yeah, it's a tall task to have a Coach Berry, who is a good coach, to take his South Carolina State Bulldogs to Bragg to beat FAMU that's and lost in Bragg in quite some time. So I'm gonna go with FAMU.
Okay, Corey.
Yeah, Chennis Berry, great coach, and this will probably he'll probably have a better chance in mid-season. But going to Bragg that first game, and after Florida A&M, was able to get a little rhythm last week, and to see some things that works good for him. I think that momentum is going to be too much, and so Florida A&M.
I got FAMU winning this by at least 2 touchdowns, but I'm laughing at the comments. Jay White says Chennis and the Dogs. Look at Nick Eden said, I think Chennis ends the Bragg streak. The march in 237.
Hey, hell.
And then he said, fam, you got to tell us something. Play QB1.
That's not nice. That's not nice. That ain't nice.
Holy Richardson. Wow. Nah, FAMU winning this game, man. They're gonna learn some lessons from last week, and they're gonna come and want to make an opening statement at home. The Labor Day Classic in Houston. Former teammates with the Oilers, Mr. Chris Dishman, in his debut as Texas Southern head coach, playing his old teammate Bubba McDowell and the defending West champions. Jay the Great.
I don't think this one's gonna be close. What's so funny is that the Labor Day Classic is one of my favorite SWAC classics to attend. If y'all have not been, check that game out. It is fun. The energy is crazy. With that being said, I think PV is gonna take this, and it's not gonna be close.
T. Gooden.
I'm gonna go with Prairie View on this one.
All right, Corey.
I think Prairie View will win this game. It's gonna, I heard the weather, it may rain or whatever, which may slow down the game, but I think just Prairie View got too much talent around that, and I just see them just win the game.
I think Prairie View gonna win this game by a lot, definitely. And I'm excited to see Lucas Coley, Prairie View's new quarterback, transferred from Houston. Prairie View. Okay, our game. What do you feel?
I'm gonna go. Hey, so I just full disclosure, blind loyalty right here. I don't care who we play. I wear the shirt multiple times a week. Not this shirt, but I got a bunch of them. I grew up around in the Auburn area. Most of my high school teachers were graduated from Auburn. In high school, we used to get tickets to go see Auburn games. Like I said, where I grew up is like 15 minutes from Auburn. Everybody was an Auburn fan. My brother graduated from Auburn. I just like Auburn. I just like them a lot. I'm a Bama fan, so I would be a fool to pick them now. People say I'm foolish for picking A&M, but I'll be that fool for my Bulldogs. A&M by A&M win the game. I'm not picking against my Bulldogs. Say what you want. I'm gonna be a fool and pick A&M because everybody says pick against them, but I'm not gonna do that.
Jen and Corey, make some sense of this, y'all. Come on, talk about it.
My picks will be in the chat. But with that being said, like I said earlier, Nikki crazy. Like I said earlier, again, I'm looking forward to the game. I'm looking forward to this is actually going to be my first time going to the Plains.
It's nice down there.
Huh?
I said it's very nice. I've been the last 2 times we played in 2012 and 2016. You're gonna enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think I do want to see Auburn's pregame and all that stuff. But like I said, it's A&M versus everybody. I don't care who it is.
Everybody.
So, that the bird, all that. You can fry it up, dip it in some cornmeal and fry it. I don't care nothing about that. Go Bulldogs. But my pick is in the chat.
Yeah. Well, of course I'm rooting for the Bulldogs, but I'm gonna have to be pick this as a non-biased, and Auburn is my pick to win this game. But what'll be a success for me for Alabama A&M is some of these individual battles and seeing positions, one-on-one. We got a pro prospect, Carson Vincent, at left tackle, that can really this tape that he's gonna get can really catapult him into the league. So I want to see what players on A&M's team is gonna rise to the occasion and is gonna make big plays. And so that will be key to see our development and who is actually going to be the players, the key players for our team this year, because we need an identity. And so this game can help us establish who those players are, who's going to be that identity. So that's where it'll be a success for me and coming out of this game healthy.
Yeah.
And I want to say
yeah, thank you, sir. Oh, go ahead.
Keep it cute to everybody. That's that's the hashtag. Keep it cute. I know this family reunion, friendly game, whatever. But to the folks and to the Auburn fans that are watching, don't come on with no foolishness. Y'all know what kind of foolishness it can go to. So let's keep it cute. We all here to have a good time. Amen.
Well, I'm just gonna say, man, I just hope that we do some good things. We come out with some confidence. We get I just hope that we put some points on the board here. In no way do I see us winning this game. And that's not being negative, because of course, God knows I would love to see us win this game. Because if we did, oh my gosh, man, we'll make it to Paul Feinbaum. We'll make it on game day. We'll make everything. Everything will be made. It'd be one of the all-time greatest wins of any HBCU of all time. But I just want to see us do some things, man, and get ourselves ready for next week. All right.
Let's pull off the upset, Bulldogs. Let's go.
Forget getting ready for next week. We got a game Saturday. Forget all that next week.
Yeah, let's do some good things. Let's get healthy. Let's do some good things. Let's come out healthy and be ready to play really great next week and get a big win.
Emphasis on to come out healthy.
One thing that I do like, picking back what Corey said, the individual battles, which is all good. But I remember last year, or could have been the year before, they ran into each other. Now we played Vanderbilt. We played really good against Vanderbilt, for the most part. But then the rest of the season didn't look as good as we looked at Vanderbilt game. So let's take that energy that we're gonna come out with on Saturday, full speed ahead. You play lax, that's how you get hurt. And let's build on it. Like, let's build on the success. Let's not regress. Let's build
develop some big time confidence, man.
Right.
We get some good game reps. That's what we need. And this is what everybody needs. Regardless, every team that plays, they're gonna have to improve from week to week. So all right, last but not least, the big one down there in Miami. Okay, Nick Eden, we know Nick. Dave, we got the SWAC East pick to win. The team is picked to win the SWAC East against the team that's picked to win the MEAC down there in hot Miami, Florida. Dave, who you got?
I got to go with North Carolina. Central. Alabama State, they got Andrew Body as their quarterback, and a lot of people think that that's going to be the pivot for the team. But as many of us know, Andrew Body hasn't played in a while. So I think a more established team like North Carolina Central, I think they'll come out on top.
Okay. Jen?
This one is hard because, as you know, in the early season SWAC MEAC matchups, the SWAC typically wins. But like Dave said, I don't know what Andrew Body is going to do in a new system. So I'm going to have to go with North Carolina Central. But I do want the SWAC to win.
All right. T?
I don't care nothing about no SWAC. Just like none of that. I'm a very, like, if you look at my headline, I changed it to very biased A&M fan, and now I'm editing it to Bama State hater. I won't pick Alabama State to win against a little league football team, so I'm not going to pick them to win against North Carolina Central. North Carolina Central by 2 touchdowns.
Ooh, Corey.
Man,
I'm a hater.
This is tough, man, because you got new quarterback for North Carolina Central after they've had an established quarterback for the last 3 or 4 years. So this is going to be his first time taking first team reps with North Carolina Central. And you got an Alabama State team who's normally tough on defense. And you got Florida weather that is going to rain some. And so it's going to be key. Whoever starts out the fastest, that I think is going to win. If it's a low scoring game, Alabama State is going to win. All week I was going to pick North Carolina Central. But for some reason, I'm just thinking just because Body had been there for the spring and that they play a tough-nosed brand football, and it's the first game of the year. If there was the middle of the game, I'll pick middle of the season, I'll pick North Carolina Central. But I don't want to pick them, and I never hardly pick them, but I'm going to go with Alabama State.
All right, so I have said that Alabama State is going to be a better second half of the season team than they are the first. I've gone through this game. I've looked at everything, every angle of it. And the thing that makes the big difference for me is the gentleman that's standing on the sidelines for North Carolina Central as head coach. Trey Oliver in big games he's delivered. I believe that North Carolina Central, this is a 4-quarter, 60-minute football game. Best believe that. North Carolina Central will win this game by 3 points. But it don't mean that Bama State isn't good, because they're very good, especially on defense. So that's what we got. All right. So
all I know is I'm excited for that game because it's gonna be after we get out of church and I get a nap before kickoff. We'll win.
And a full disclosure for the season, whenever you got Alabama A&M on the screen, I'm not gonna look at any numbers or any analytics. I'm always gonna pick us. And if it's ever Alabama State, I'm always gonna pick against them. So you don't have to ever guess my picks when it comes up to them. That's just me. I'm not a football guru. I am a fan of the Bulldogs and a hater of Alabama State. That's it.
Let it be known, plain and clear.
Yeah, it's plain and clear. So you ain't got to guess.
Well, on that note, here's what we got for you next week. Coming up on the next episode of From the Hill podcast, the 12th president of Alabama A&M University, Dr. Daniel K. Wims, joins us to discuss the state of the university, the upcoming 150-year celebration, as well as the incoming freshman class. Plus, we'll get you all set up for the annual Lewis Cruz Classic, the home opening football game against Kentucky State. Won't you join us live Tuesday, September 3rd, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. It's fun. It's you. It's us. It's From the Hill podcast. So that's what we got for you on next week. And it's Lewis Cruz Classic Week. So 12th president of A&M coming on, joining us for a not once, not twice, but third time.
Yep.
So we're looking forward to that. So big shout out tonight to Sha'Vonne Cammack for joining us. That was a great time. And also shout out to my man Ike Jones, War Report podcast, content creator down there for the Auburn Tigers. Great show tonight, everybody. Safe travels to the three of you on your way down to the plains. As you guys take in all of the things that goes on down there. So I'm looking forward to just the full return of football. It's been too long. I'm really looking forward to seeing A&M have a bounce back year on the field, as well as some other teams that I look at. So yeah, y'all, we back in full effect. So big shout out to everybody who joined us tonight, and also everybody who's watched us. Those that have not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscription button, y'all. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And also, we are pushing our new website, www.fromthehillpodcast.com. Make sure you check that out. And those that will watch this show, be apprised of everything you heard, because we back in full effect on the hill and doing some big things. So, Dave, final thoughts tonight?
No, man. Glad we had some good people on. And I want you to send us that link to that mic.
All right, Jen.
All roads head down to the plains this weekend. So this is gonna be my first time. I'm looking forward to seeing my Bulldogs lined up. They put on their pants just like anybody else. It's up. Let's go, Bulldogs.
T. Gooden.
Yeah, Ike did email me. He said Walter Payton. He said, I don't know why I didn't think about Walter Payton as the Mount Rushmore person. And he also emailed me that microphone brand. So I'll send it to you, Dave. But yeah, safe travels to everyone that's traveling down to Auburn Friday or Saturday. Safe Labor Day weekend. I know it's a long weekend for a lot of us. So that's all I got tonight.
And hydrate, everybody. Hydrate. Y'all hydrate this weekend. We not no spring chickens.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dave.
I just want to mention, because I know everybody's going to be, trying to figure out where the band is going to be at the game. So the band is going to be entering and exiting in gate 0 at the game. So that's where they're going to be entering and exiting, and they're going to be in section 35. So anybody who's trying to figure out where the band is going to be, that's where they are going to be.
All right. And happy belated birthday to you, Dave. I know you celebrated your birthday this week.
Yeah, I appreciate that. In the old job.
Yeah. And I'm gonna celebrate mine tomorrow.
Yeah.
I found out that the cross country meet that I was gonna be working, it got canceled because of air quality. So I'm gonna have an evening with my wife tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to it. So
shout out to the Virgos.
Yeah, man. We here. All right. So we will see everybody next week. Thanks for tuning in, and God bless you.